Welcome to the Pittsburgh Bears podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says
Dog poop sucks.
Okay.
I've been watching Nancy's sister's dog this week. And I mean, it's a golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
Big dog. Takes big shits.
Yeah.
You know, fad-sized shits. And it's just like, oh, man. And I mean, he is just a machine.
Oh, yeah, dogs are.
And I'm like, you know, like my side yard was just littered. Like I had to go out there today. You know, I had to clean it up. And he's still there, but I was just reaching a point. Like, I got to clean this up. This is,
Yeah.
I don't like this at all. You know, I got like an entire shopping bag filled with poo. You know, I'm like, well, whose porch can I light this on fire on?
You're right.
You know, but I mean, it's just like the whole time, I'm like, I don't even fucking own a dog.
Right.
You know,
And
how did I get stuck in doing this?
Now you're doing cleanup crew.
Yeah, I'm cleanup crew. No, thanks. And then after I cleaned it up, he went out there and dropped a new deuce.
Oh, yeah.
He's like happy, like, oh, you cleaned out my area. Thank you.
Rub it in your face.
Yeah. Like 20 minutes later, I'm like, hey, you gotta go outside. He's like, yeah. Take him outside. He's like, oh, look, you cleaned it all up. Here's a new one for you.
Fresh spots.
Oh, nice fresh pal to enjoy. Son of a bitch.
It's funny.
Yeah. But I saw something amazing this week. Like, it amazed me.
Okay.
I never thought this was something I would ever see. So, Sabine has Sabine has attacked this dog.
Okay.
This dog lives in fear of Sabine. And like to the point, like the dog, like many days doesn't leave the kitchen because he's afraid Sabine will strike.
Wow.
Yeah, the first time Christine brought this dog over, Sabine charged him, like full puffed out. Like Sabine just like a giant puffball of like fury and anger, and went straight for his face.
Wow.
You know, and ever since then, this dog's like, you know, I ain't fucking with you. You know, you try to take my eyes. You know, you know, I've never seen evil before until I looked into your eyes. You know, so but Darby, on the other hand, is learning.
Yeah.
Now, Darby has been getting along with Sylvester. Sylvester's Christine's sister's cat, which we are also watching. Mm. And they've been having, you know, they've been playing, it's been cool, and to the point like Sabine, who also hates Sylvester, has kind of like gotten over it a little bit. And it's like, okay, you're playing with my buddy, you're cool.
Yeah.
So this is where I get to the point that this is something I never thought I'd see in my life. So I'm out. I take the dog out to do his dirty business.
Yeah.
And when I'm bringing him in, I got him on a leash. And I open the door, and he comes trotting in, and there's Darby, the kitten, in the kitchen. And all Oliver wants to do is play. He has no ill intent. He's just like trying to sniff you and trying to play with you. He plays with Sylvester. He wants to play with Darby.
Yeah, sure.
Darby is like, you are a giant monster from my nightmares. And Darby's like full arched back, giving him the hiss and everything.
Oh.
Like Darby's standing his ground, like, you know, you shall not pass.
All right.
You know, well, Sabine came charging in, got between Darby and the dog, and was standing her ground and looking back to make sure Darby got away.
Really?
Really. Like Sabine stepped in like, motherfucker, you want to fuck with somebody, you fuck with me. Not the little guy.
Right.
Not the little guy's mine.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with him. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I knew Sabine liked Darby, But like this is like he is in my pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are a motherfucker. He's in my pack. You know.
Poor Oliver.
And but like at the same time, it was like the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen. And I thought, wow. And I told Nancy about it, and I'm like telling Nancy, and she's like, okay, whatever. I'm not buying this horse shit.
Why would you make it?
But I think it was more on the lines of she assumed that Sabine was attacking Oliver, not defending Darby. Like that's the part that she didn't believe. Like she believed that Sabine stepped in, but Sabine stepped in to be, for lack of a better word, a cunt.
Yeah.
And pick on the dog.
Yeah.
And telling her, like, that's not the case. He was protecting Darby, or she was protecting Darby.
Yeah.
She was making sure he got away before she backed off.
Yeah.
And she's like, whatever. Well, a couple hours later, same fucking thing happens. This time Nancy's in the kitchen, and she sees it.
Really?
And she sees Sabine come charging in to defend Darby. And she realized, she even sees like Sabine like looking back to make sure he got away before she backed away. And so Nancy's like, I can't believe I just fucking saw that.
The pack.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're in trouble because they are a pack.
Yeah.
We've got problems. But it was just that moment of like, I didn't know Sabine had it in her. Like, especially because like, and again, this was our fuck up the way we introduced her and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And Sabine tortured Ahsoka. Sabine was relentless. And it was our fault. We fucked up in how we introduced them to each other.
Right.
Because we thought, Sabine will just be like, oh, hello, friend kitten. And Ahsoka, who had not a mean-spirited bone in her body whatsoever,
Right.
would be like, hello, friend, and that would be that. And it didn't work out that way because Sabine, we learned later on like what her background was about the abuse and everything else. And so we fucked up.
Yeah.
We should, either way, even without the backstory, we should have introduced them slowly. We didn't do that. We did it that time with Darby, though. That's how we introduced the Darby. And it worked. It's working out much better. But still, it's just that thing of like, I never thought of Sabine would reach the point that she would like defend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get that.
That's what was amazing to me.
She did.
It was very impressive. It was like really this impressive thing to see. Like if they were in nature, they would be a pack of two.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
It is.
Well, at least she loves the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like funny because she plays very rough. But I think it's the only way she knows how. Like, she never had a kittenhood where she could learn how to play like that. And so, because of that, like, the way she plays with Darby,
right,
it's a little rougher than you would like. But yet, she's just playing. She's not trying to hurt him. I can tell that. And but with Sylvester, who did, he grew up playing rough with Oliver, and they have a French bulldog Mac that somebody else is taking care of. Thank God, because I could not deal with her.
Yeah.
But Sylvester learned to play with them, and so like when he plays with Darby, he plays much gentler.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like Darby will sometimes he'll be like eek, like, and you're like, Sabine, settle down, calm down, be gentle. And Sabine's like, let me like, I'm fucking him up.
Yeah.
I'm teaching him life is pain.
Yeah.
So it's like fun to like watch like Sylvester and Darby play because they're roughhousing, but they're not like as rough as Sabine is, I guess.
What's Sabine think of Sylvester when the cats are playing?
Oh,
Nothing.
to her, she's like, she sits on Castle Sabine and is just like, play away. Play away. You're good. I've got no problem.
I'm just curious on that interaction went.
Yeah, because I think part of it is kind of like Sabine's like, I'm here, and if something happens to him, like I know he just wants to play, but he's a pain in my ass. Because every time Sylvester comes, he wants to play with Sabine. And Sabine's like, fucking go away, dude.
Yeah.
I'm done. You know, and she gets very nasty about it. So, like, this time, it's like Sylvester's like, well, where's my buddy Darby? Because he'll play. You don't want to fucking play.
Is the dog gentle?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a big dog.
He's a big dog, but, I mean, he's never snapped at a cat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, with Sylvester grew up with Oliver, so it's just a natural part of his, like, Sylvester's usually like, yeah, that's my dog. That's my boy. Yeah. You know? But now he's like, I got this buddy Darby, this little guy that, like, loves to roll around and play, like I do. And I'm bigger than him.
Yeah.
You know? Let's have some fun. Yeah. You know? And, I mean, and that's all it is. So, like, Sabine, it's, like, almost, like, been, like, a break. Like, she's, like, on vacation. Where it's, like, you know, other than that fucking dog, you know, you two can play all you want, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
You know, I need to relax. You know, so I can't. I think they're leaving tomorrow. I think because they went last Sunday. They went to Cancun.
Yeah. And
of course, Nancy doesn't get the details. But, like, they flew on 9/11. I'm like, who the fuck flies on 9/11? Like, that'd be like the last day I would fucking fly. Yeah. I'm more likely to fly on Friday the 13th than I would be on 9/11. You know? And I told Nancy that. Because, like, Nancy's like, yeah, they're leaving on Sunday. I'm like, Sunday? She's like, yeah, like, they're leaving on 9/11? They're flying on 9/11? They're military. You know, she's like, it's 9/11? I'm like, yes, it's 9/11. Who the fuck flies out? I mean, Nancy's flipping out about it now. You know, I'm like, well, I figured you knew this.
I'm sure it'd be fine. But...
Well, they were fine. But it was like that thing of, like, it's just that thing of, like, you know, I wouldn't fly that day. You know. Yeah. There are plenty of other days. I would be more likely to fly to Japan on Pearl Harbor Day than I would be to fly anywhere on 9/11. You know. Right. So. Yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds busy.
It has been. It sucks. Yeah. I finished season 5 of Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
They have not.
They have not. Well, sucks to be them.
Ended well.
It did. Yeah. It did. It was a very good season. I enjoyed. The thing that like makes me laugh, like, if you go back and you watch the first season of this show, it feels like, okay, I could see how this could happen. Yeah. You know, the rivalry between Lawrence and LaRussa would be such that I could see where that could happen. Like, the season. But as it's gone on, it's become so soap opera-y. Like, they're talking about, like, you know, we have to save the world from Cobra Kai. Like he's fucking Cobra Commander. You know. Yeah. It was like it got so over the top, but, like, I still bought into it. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm along for the ride, but it was like, there were moments where I was like, oh, this is so schlocky.
Yeah.
You know, like, this feels like it's just like a peg below Riverdale.
Yeah.
You know. But overall, I still enjoyed it. Like, I can't wait till season 6.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it ended well. I thought that was a little over the top too when he kept going on about it. I'm like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but
yeah,
damn.
But, like, it was just like there was that moment where, like, they're, like, at the dojo at Miyagi-Do, and like you know, we're gonna go into this tournament, we're gonna win because we're gonna save the world from Cobra Kai. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What kind of pressure are you putting on these kids?
Yeah. Like, holy hell. Right. You know.
Yeah. A lot.
I was just like, wow, that is so over the top.
Right.
You know, the world is in danger because Terry Silver is teaching, forbidden karate. You know, children of the world are in danger.
Who also is a gazillionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
a gazillionaire.
yeah. Like, I have no doubt, like, next season, the charges will be dropped.
Yeah.
Like, he will find a way, like, he will pay enough money to some lawyer to get him out of this, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, come on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, we'll finish that. Trying to think if there's anything else I watched. Not really, just Rings.
You didn't watch House of Dragon?
Yeah, I did watch House of Dragon.
Yeah, that got very interesting.
Yeah, and uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. I will wholeheartedly agree, but, you know.
I was like, Matt Smith, don't become that guy. Just not yet.
Yeah.
You know.
But that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Like, in their world, like, Matt Smith, like, that his character marrying the princess, like, makes all the sense in the world.
Well, sure it does.
It's how you solve multiple problems.
Yeah.
But.
And that happens in, that happens in that realm. And in their,
in their family
in their.
Yeah. In their family.
And yeah, their family.
Yeah.
You won't catch that shit in Winterfell, but.
No. No. Not in Winterfell.
Yeah. Here, this shit goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Winterfell doesn't play like that.
No.
I don't think.
No.
No.
But I think the thing that's interesting is like they've avoided. Like, I really thought like it was going to be like, well, here's the Lannisters and here's the Baratheons and you've seen them and here's the Starks. Like I really thought like these major houses were going to be playing a major role, and it still might later on in the series at some point.
Yeah.
But they've really avoided like that nostalgia. I mean, you can't help but bring up those houses. I mean, I think the one guy who sits on the couch, he's a Baratheon. They had the episode a couple episodes ago, the hunt with she tried to be married off to a Lannister.
Right.
So there were moments where like you're bringing those houses in that more than the others. But I've appreciated they've kind of avoided that and kind of tried to expand the universe beyond what we know.
Right.
Instead of like, I really thought it was going to lean on like, the nobleness of House Stark.
Right.
All that kind of, this, like, tell the same story in a different way. But they've really kind of avoided that as much as possible with how they're telling the story and the houses that they're using.
Right. I still think Matt Smith is the strongest character on the show.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, the strongest and the most interesting character.
Yeah, he just commands the room.
Yeah.
When you see him walk into the room, when he walked into the.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he walked in there, with the thing on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the attention. He had all the attention.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he just commands a room how he's doing this role. And I just love him in the role. I just can't wait to see what he does next. Like, it's funny.
It's a little weird because, he is a little bit villainous.
Oh, yeah.
But, so it's kind of, like, it's that thing of, like, I guess, like, his previous roles have been villains. Like, you look at Morbius, you look at the Terminator. But, like, this is, like, hardcore villainy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to take my niece to a whorehouse.
And nakedness.
Yeah.
Which I never would have expected. I don't know. That's the last thing I pictured seeing was Matt Smith naked.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
It threw me,
Yeah, it does. But, damn, he's good in this role. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah. Not a one-trick pony, put it that way.
No, not at all.
So.
Well, I've always heard. I didn't watch the show, but I heard he was also very good in The Crown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, but we knew. The guy can act. The guy can act his ass off. It's just he's been in some shite roles.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a good episode.
Yeah.
And you watch Rings?
Yeah, I did. I watched Rings today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting because it's like I'm trying very hard not to compare to these two shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it just so happens you have two shows that are like in the same genre, very expensive to make.
Yeah.
On at the same time, and I'm trying very hard not to like be like, oh well, this is this and this is that. And I'm also trying very hard not to confuse characters.
Yeah, right.
But it's been interesting to see with Rings the direction, like, where is this story going?
Right.
Like, we're 5 episodes into it at this point, and I'm still kind of like, okay, where exactly is all this leading us? Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like season 1 is nothing more than the prologue.
Yeah.
In a very Tolkien-esque way. Like,
You're right.
There's going to be zero resolution by the end of this season.
Yeah, there's not going to be any.
Yeah. Like, if anything, it will finally maybe get an inkling of what the actual plot is.
I agree. I think this is just, the first 20 pages of a book.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you said, the prologue. But it's good. I'm not... I don't know how to describe it. I was kind of let down, but not let down.
Because you want more of the Hobbits.
I do.
Yeah.
And so that kind of let me down that, it was so center-focused.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of dwarves. I like the dwarves, too. So,
yeah.
I mean, and the dwarves are such a... It's funny because they weren't that big in... I mean, that's just kind of how it was written. But they weren't so big in Lord of the Rings. Do you know what I mean? That
right.
series. But the dwarf involvement up to Rings was massive. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, you get a lot... It's that funny thing of okay, so what do you get? Well, I mean, in The Hobbit, it's nothing but dwarves.
I know that.
Right. And then you get to the Lord of the Rings and you get Gimli.
Yeah.
But, and you see what happened at the Mines of Moria, but you're right, overall, what dwarven life is like.
Yeah.
What their hierarchy is and stuff like that. You never get to see in those books for the most part.
Right.
Where with this, I have enjoyed that peek behind the curtain of what
yeah.
a dwarven
and that's what I liked about
mine is like.
I liked about The Hobbit how deep they kind of went in there too.
Yeah.
With where they were at there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean dwarves are so center focused. Not center focused, but really part of the story here.
Right.
Up to Rings. Do you know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was good. I liked their interactions too. I liked Elrond's interaction with his wife.
Yeah.
I liked that scene.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why didn't you take this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, you trying to call me a liar in my own house? You know what I mean? Seriously, I mean, that's what she was saying, And I was like...
Look here, motherfucker.
Right. So, I like Elrond's relationship with him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's... I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's almost, Legolas Gimli
Yeah.
type of relationship.
Yeah.
But I think this has deeper... There's deeper feelings there.
Right. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's neat to see them explore that.
Right.
Because he loves him like a brother.
Right.
So... I don't know. There's so many things going to happen probably in this series.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's exciting to watch.
It is. It's been very, very interesting. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I want to see where it kind of goes.
I almost wish it wasn't an hour. I wish it was like 2 hours long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the great thing about a show like that. You're like when it's over, you're like, fuck, I want more.
Exactly. And it's like when I sit down, I think I just want to sit down for a movie.
Yeah.
And I have to get it out of my head that it's just an hour-long episode. Do you know what I mean? Because every time you watched anything of Rings before this, it was always like half of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And...
Yeah, it's a day.
But we know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's 3 hours long or 2.5 hours long. And now you're just getting an hour.
Right.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It absolutely does.
Yeah. And I just kind of want things to not wrap up, just get to a point where they meet or something happens or,
Yeah.
The crossroads or something. Something.
Yeah.
I got to have something here.
They all have to get together so the pieces of the puzzle can be put together.
Yeah, these characters have to interact somehow.
Yeah.
At some time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm just kind of waiting for. You know what I mean?
Right, I agree. But I feel like that's going to be like the final scene of the final episode is like, and you are the Fellowship. You're like, fuck!
Yeah. Or the sun will rise and all of a sudden there's old Gandalf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like coming down or something. It's like, damn.
Yeah, so like
I mean, do you think they're gonna make another? I mean, they have to be making another season of this. There's so much invested.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like
I think they paid like $300 million just for the rights.
Right. Like, I mean,
Amazon did.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like yes, they have to do a second season just because of your investment. But like, I feel the same way about Sandman, and apparently, like, Netflix is kind of like, it was really fucking expensive to make. Yeah. And I'm like, but it was well worth it. It's amazing storytelling. Please continue.
Yeah.
More, please. And it's the same thing with this.
I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix did drop Sandman. Someone would pick that up.
I would hope so. Like, I would hope Warner Brothers would be smart enough to, like, because technically Sandman's a DC property.
Yeah.
So, like, I would think, like, they would be smart enough to, like, say, like, okay, we're just going to bring this back in-house and make it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, with everything's going on at Warner Discovery, I don't know what their mindset is.
Yeah.
And now there's rumors that they may be buying NBC Universal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now they're saying that they can't even think about doing that until 2024, but like apparently like Forbes magazine's reporting that there are talks that have taken place.
Yeah.
I was like, holy hell.
Try to bring back the monsters again.
Yeah.
They fucked that up too.
Well, I mean, it's just that thing of like.
They fucked that up royally.
Oh, I mean, beyond repair.
They fucked up that when they made the Mummy.
Yeah.
That was their doomsday.
Yeah. I mean, they want so desperately to like have like that shared horror universe. And I get it. Like, it makes sense, but man. I mean, they've tried like I think 3 different times to launch it.
Yeah.
You know, with the Mummy, and there was that horrible Frankenstein movie that had
I Frankenstein.
no, no, that's classic. No, that the one that had the guy who played Two-Face in the Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him. He played like a modern of the Frankenstein's monster. So I can't. Yeah, it was fucking horrible. And then they tried it again with the Van Helsing movie with
Yep.
what's his name from Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't we think of names?
I don't know. I'm just drawing blanks today.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, yeah. But yeah, they've tried like 3 different times to like do this, and like all 3 times have been like complete and total failures.
Yeah, think about it. The only thing that's been really good from any of the horror movies, really, as far as remakes, I'm talking remakes.
Yeah.
Like The Wolfman and The Mummy and stuff like that. I mean, the only thing that comes close is Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I will give you Bram Stoker's Dracula without it.
It's a masterpiece.
It is. And Gary Oldman was amazing. Winona Ryder's amazing. I mean, everybody's amazing in that. But that first Mummy movie.
Oh, yeah, it was good, too. That was excellent.
I mean, it felt like Indiana Jones meets a horror film.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fan. I mean, the second one's not good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I hold that mostly to, like, that horrible CGI.
Yeah.
You know, that was awful at the end.
Yeah.
That was, like, that looked like something off of a Nintendo 64 that was that bad.
Yeah.
You know, but, like, overall, like, the story that it told wasn't that bad.
No.
You know, until you get to the end of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, my God, this is horrific.
Yeah.
Well, who said this was okay?
Yeah.
You know, and the third movie's just garbage.
Yeah.
You know,
but that first Mummy was good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Brendan Fraser was amazing. He was.
Everybody in that movie's amazing.
Agreed.
I mean that movie.
Agreed.
But Brendan. And we talk. Brendan Fraser's having a renaissance right now.
Yeah.
You know, and as well he should. He seems like one of the best people ever.
And he's probably one of the best. People are gonna laugh at me when I say this, but he's one of the best actors out there.
No, I'm not gonna laugh at that because I partially agree.
It's
like,
just
he's a very
movie
good actor.
choices.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just doing movies that he wants to do. Now he fucked him up. He fucked himself up royally on the Mummy.
Yeah.
I know he did. Like stunts and stuff like that. I mean, he jacked himself up pretty bad. But and through 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I mean, he's done some amazing work. Like I just watched. Oh man. I just watched this show he was in. I binged it.
Yeah.
And he played a hospital.
Like,
I can't remember the name of the show.
let's do the old patented.
IMDb.
Let's review the career of Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. All right, so Brendan Fraser.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Brendan Fraser. So, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but The Whale was released this year, which he is getting critical acclaim for.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're big on that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There's a lot of stuff I've never heard of. A lot of stuff I haven't heard. Oh, he was Sergeant Stone in G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. Journey to the Center of the Earth was a very underrated movie. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
The first.
Yeah, the first one. He was in the movie Crash, which, I mean, that received, not for him, but a ton of praise. There's some stuff here, like, Bedazzled. I mean, that was the one where Elizabeth Hurley plays the devil. Yeah, it wasn't that good. No. He was the voice of Sinbad in a cartoon. He played Dudley Do-Right.
Oh, that was rough.
That was. I've had high hopes for that too. I thought Brendan Fraser is Dudley Do-Right. That's awesome. Blast from the Past is a great movie.
Yeah.
Gods and Monsters is a very serious, very good movie. George of the Jungle.
He was actually pretty good in George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Playing George.
Yeah.
I know that sounds dumb, but for what the movie was...
Yeah. No, I agree.
I will defend him on that movie.
Yeah.
Because that's what the movie is. You wanted George of the Jungle, you got George of the Jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's like movies like The Twilight of the Gods, which he made in '96. Glory Days.
I think I saw that.
Another like really underrated movie is The Scout.
Yeah.
Because he plays like this like pitcher.
Uh-huh.
And he's like playing like in like the Puerto Rican leagues or something. And this guy finds him, but he's a complete and total head case.
Yeah.
But he's got like the greatest arm anybody's ever seen. He like throws like 110 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. But he's a complete and total basket case. Mm. And like it's like he's going to therapy, like the Yankees sign him, and like he comes in as a reliever. Like the game, the movie ends like spoiler, like him going down to the field, to while you've thrown any relief, like any warm up pitches, he goes out there and throws like 110 miles an hour, like, just throwing smoke, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like holy hell! But it was like a really good movie. I was shocked how good it was. Mm-hmm. Airheads. That's a great movie. With honors.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
That was... I'm not a huge fan of... What's his name?
Joe Pesci.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was a fan of him in that movie.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the saddest movies I've ever seen in my life.
School Ties.
Awesome movie.
Encino Man.
Or was School Ties the one with Joe Pesci?
No.
With honors.
With honors was with Joe Pesci. School Ties was the one where he played the Jewish kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, but that's also got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in it. Both playing dicks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like up until like 1999, 2000, like 2001 was The Mummy Returns. 2003 Looney Tunes Back in Action, which I'm fine. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people like, oh, that's horrible. I actually enjoyed it. It's a Looney Tunes movie. What do you expect? 2004 was Crash. Then like he starts like making like movies like I've never heard of. Journey to the End of the Night. 2008 was Journey to the Center of the Earth. Furry Vengeance was in 2010.
That just sounds rough.
Yeah. A Case of You. Hairbrained. Pawn Shop Chronicles. I mean, he made some direct-to-video movies here.
I think he was in 77 movies, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, most definitely. I mean, he's definitely, I mean, he's done, he's always, it's that thing of like, he's always been working, but he's been making movies that you just don't see.
Right.
unless you're looking for them. It's kind of like, Nick Cage, for every 5 movies he makes, only one of them gets released in a theater.
Right.
The other 4 are going direct to video.
Right.
So
I just don't know what that movie was. It's a series, I think. It's just not coming up.
yeah,
It's so weird.
that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I like him too, and he seems like a genuinely decent guy.
Huh?
He seems like a genuinely decent guy.
Oh yeah.
Like, he got that standing ovation for like 6 minutes at the Cannes Film Festival.
Really?
Yeah, like for the Whale. Mm-hmm. And like, you could tell like he was genuinely moved by it. Like, he couldn't believe like this was happening to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, he seems like a guy who's like, like a step below Keanu Reeves as far as like on the good guy meter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or maybe on the same level, just not as making as much money. But still, like, he seems like a genuinely decent human being who, like, if you talk to him, he'd probably be like, I'm not gonna remember your name, but I'm glad I had this interaction with you.
Why, do you think he'll be up for an Oscar for this role?
There's talk of it,
Did he gain a bunch of weight for it?
I don't think he gained a bunch of weight. I think there was a lot of fat suit. I mean, he's already kind of big now anyway.
Yeah, well, he was big when this show I saw.
Yeah.
He was like...
Yeah, but he's supposed to be playing a guy who weighs 600 pounds.
Okay.
So I don't think he put on that kind of weight.
Oh,
but,
no.
But, there's probably some makeup and a fat suit involved there. But he's still,
Yeah.
he's a husky fella.
Yeah, he is.
That's not him in the Robot Man suit on Doom Patrol. I hate to break that to people,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's having a little bit of a renaissance. Good for him.
Yeah, me too.
Good for him.
Let's get him in a Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's it. That's the next step, It's, what can we fit him in a Marvel?
Right.
Guess what happens? I mean, Kim Kardashian's like, hey, I'd like to make a Marvel movie.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'd love to be in a Marvel movie. Can somebody make that happen? Like, no. No, we're not making that happen. No. So, the story I've kind of been sitting on. A couple weeks ago, Warner Brothers execs are reportedly think Zack Snyder's Justice League should have never happened.
Okay.
Like, I think the problem is, and the reason they're saying that is, there's that influx of people who think it should continue.
Okay.
And while, yeah, I would have loved to have seen it continue, it's not going to.
Yeah.
I think even before Discovery bought Warner Brothers was shutting the door on that. They're like, hey, we gave you this. Enjoy it. You fucking nerds. We're moving on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, meanwhile, like, so there's still this contingent of, like, let Zack... And I feel like Zack Snyder's, like, reached a point even where he's like, hey, I'm doing other shit now. I signed with Netflix. I'm doing my stuff. I got my zombie stuff. I've got my space stuff. I got stuff I got going. I'm just fine. Don't you worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm done with the Justice League.
Yeah.
But there are those people out there who are just like, this is what we want. Give us what we want. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, they're not going to.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
At some point, they're just going to take all of this and completely reboot it and do whatever it is they're going to do with it, with their 10-year plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to do. So
Yeah.
accept it.
Yeah. Enjoy Mimosas, Aquaman probably for one more movie.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll see The Flash.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, I mean, you probably won't see another Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to just completely reboot all of this shit. So, like, I guess, like, it is a mistake from the standpoint, like, if I'm a studio exec, I guess the mistake is, well, we spent this money, and yeah, great, it generated some revenue with sign up some people for HBO Max or whatever. But overall, is the hassle worth it?
Yeah.
Because, like, there's still that contingent of people out there on social media who are, stomping their feet, hoping they get what they want, and, this is as good as it's going to get.
Right.
You got this 4 hours. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you're probably lucky to even get that.
Yeah, I felt lucky to get that.
Yeah.
I honestly did. Like, I never thought I would see this.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the version of Justice League I got was the version of Justice League they put out in the theater. And I was like, that sucks, but I'm happy with it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my nose. I'm going to swallow my pudding.
Yeah.
And, the fact that I got this 4-hour monstrosity that was a delight to watch.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, I'm very happy. Didn't have to hold my nose for this one.
Yeah, it was good.
But I'm not going to see any more. They're not going to let this continue.
No.
Like, no matter how good this does, and it did very well apparently, they're not going to let it continue.
Right. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'll have to see what happens, what they do with it in the next 10 years.
And that's the odd thing. Like if I'm an exec there, if I'm first off, they're still trying to find the person to run DC Entertainment.
Yeah,
they're still trying to find their Kevin Feige.
Right.
And so is that person coming in and say, okay, well, we're going to start our universe with Robert Pattinson's Batman. This is our kickoff. So with the next movie, you have to incorporate X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You have to show that the universe is bigger. Just, it doesn't have to be, maybe a news thing in the background where, Superman stops or saves train in Metropolis or, shit like that. Like, you have to sprinkle in this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like Marvel did.
Yeah. No, you have to, because the only thing I wish for the next Batman is just they speed up the movie a little bit.
Yeah, that was a slog.
I mean,
that was just a complete.
I loved the movie.
Yeah,
I did, and I liked the narration.
Yeah,
I thought that was good. It was the detective, like the Mickey
Right.
Spillane shit,
Right.
like that. I liked that. I liked that piece.
Right.
But it just, and then combined with the music, it was just like, ugh.
It's the first time I've ever watched a Batman movie where I was looking at my watch.
Yeah.
I was literally like, what time is it? Fuck, how long has this been going on?
Yeah.
It's a very good movie, but man, it is just
drags.
Yeah, it's a very slow boiler of a movie.
Yeah.
And I get why. Like,
I just don't
artistically. But, like, it's like this thing of, like, man, we gotta, like, find a way to, Batman movies are usually a little bit more faster paced.
Yeah, I just needed...
Even Nolan knew that. You know what I mean? Like, even Nolan kind of figured out that formula of, like, okay, I can only go so long before I have to have something else happen.
You're right.
And this movie can't be almost 3 hours long.
I mean, because I thought there were actually points of this movie that were just like really, just really well done. But it was just, you're just like, oh, here comes the music again.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, it's taking too long. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
This scene from them on top of the building down to the bottom took like 15 minutes.
Right.
Is this real time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was just... Like I said, I did like it. I just felt like the music combined with the lengthiness of the scenes, it was just too much.
Yeah.
It's just like... Ooh. But there were aspects of it that were just brilliant.
Right. I agree with you.
I just don't want the new DC universe to be like that. I couldn't even imagine watching a Superman movie like that.
Oh, yeah.
The Dark Knight I get, because it falls into that line of she wore a red dress. I was smoking a cigarette and had a bottle of scotch next to my desk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it kind of fell in. It made sense because he was
Right.
the detective. I understand that. But like I said, there were some parts where I was like, oh my God. I felt like at one point I was like, I could probably walk out to the snack bar, eat a hot dog, get a thing of popcorn or something, and just come back, and I probably wouldn't miss anything.
Yeah.
They'd probably still be like on the 10th floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, I would like the new universe to include Pattinson because I think he's a good Batman, a younger Batman I like. But I don't know how that younger Batman fits in with the rest of the Justice League.
Right.
This is early on Batman. Superman isn't even around.
Yeah, it's a year too. But Superman could be around.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought Batman was older than Supes.
No.
Earth years. More seasoned.
Well, I it's that whole deal of like, what I think. Yeah, he's like supposed to be like 35 when he reveals himself.
Hey, Bat?
No, it's Superman. Like it's going back to the whole Christ metaphor.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 35. But like
want some bread? Want some fish? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like it's that whole
Drink me.
It's that whole deal though of like it depends how you look, like, because like if you look at Batman Begins is a really good telling of like Batman Year One without doing Batman Year One. It kind of didn't you like it was influenced by a comic book called Batman Year One, and in that comic book it explains that like Batman left Gotham, or Bruce Wayne left Gotham. He studied with these monks and kung fu. Like he did all this training. He went to college. He got his 4-year degree. He leaves Gotham. He has a degree in psychology and criminology, and he travels the world learning other skills, and then he comes back, like at age 30, and becomes the Batman.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like how that does play out. So like it depends on how you look at it. Like did Pattinson's Batman do that? So what's his age? What is he? Is he about 30? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is like, I mean, you could say like, okay, yeah, like so Pattinson was like year 2 of Batman, and you could say like, well, here comes Superman. He's in his first year, of being Superman. So like the Zack Snyder like portrayal of like Batman would be like 45,
Yeah.
and Superman is like in his mid 30s. Didn't make any sense from like the comic book standpoint. It just looked cool because you're getting, they were taking that version of Batman from like the Dark Knight Returns and trying to translate it into a comic book somehow that's to appease fanboys like me.
Did you ever wonder that, why, Batman's fighting the Joker and all these guys in Gotham?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why didn't he just bring in the rest of the guys if he really wanted to clean up Gotham?
Well,
And you can just even bring Superman in and just take
age-old-
it out.
That's the age
Level
old.
it.
That's the age old. Like it was the same question. Like okay, in the second Captain America movie, like why isn't he calling in the rest of the Avengers? Like this is clearly an Avenger level threat.
Yeah.
Hydra's taken over. Shield. I think I need Tony and I need Hawkeye and I need everybody. I need all hands on deck here. This is a problem. No, it's him and Natasha. Then he's handling his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that age old question. Like all the comic books, like it's always like well, call the Avengers. Call in the Justice League. Like I mean, the Flash lets his villains get away.
Yeah.
Like he knows what bar they hang out at. You know, like, so it's like, it's a very odd thing, like, where it's like, you know, what's...
Like when Robin died, right?
Yeah.
That should have been like an immediate call to be like, all right, I better get some friends on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless he internalized it and wanted to do, you know, take care of business himself. But what I mean is, like, you have all these threats in Gotham City.
Yeah.
I mean, Gotham must be the worst place to live on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
No, really, you know. And, I mean, you got everybody. You know, and you got all these people in the asylum.
Yeah.
Right? And you got all this shit happening. And Soups can come in and just pretty much take care of business all at one time. He could probably have that shit done in a day.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, like, that... There's
Someone might get creative and develop some kind of kryptonite crap.
Yeah.
But not like these low levels.
Yeah.
You know.
But, like, okay, so, like, there was that story. It did a cartoon of it. You know, what was it? Injustice. Mm-hmm. Where, like, Joker, like, drops a nuclear bomb on Metropolis.
Like, that's funny.
Like, blows up, like, Lois carrying Soups' baby is killed.
No way.
Well, I mean, he shows up, and he's just like just raged, and like just reaches in the Joker's chest and pulls out his heart. And it's like, I'm just gonna do the fucking thing you can't do. All those times you let him out, all that blood's on your hands. My wife's blood is on your hands.
Nice.
You know, not his, because he's insane. Yours, Bruce.
Yeah.
You know, and Bruce is like, what the fuck did you just do?
Yeah.
You know, we don't do this.
Yeah.
I know you're pissed, but we don't do. You just killed him. You know. Oh, it's like, but it's like that. It is. It's like that thing of like, yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, like, why isn't Batman like just like you know, I gotta kill you. Like, for the betterment of everybody, you've got to be taken out.
Right.
And we're not going to find your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not going to be any tribute like, the Joker's dead. No, you are just going to disappear.
Yeah.
Like, it's shit like that. Like, you're right. Like, like, the code, and that's what, like, Jupiter's Legacy was about. Like, the code that they live by of how to handle criminals that you can't kill doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like, you're right, and like there are certain books where it drives Bruce mad. You know, he invents Brother Eye to you know, patrol the streets of Gotham, and like, you know, there's always all this shit about, like, especially with Bruce, like, going over the edge.
Yeah.
You know, and like, how do I make Gotham the safest city in the world? Like, how do I do that? Like, you know, and it's kind of the same thing that like Tony Stark did in like the second Avengers movie. Like, you know, I need to protect the world. I need to put a suit of armor around the Earth. Well, here's Ultron, my suit of armor. Oh shit, he's insane.
Yeah.
He spent 30 seconds on the internet and decided we need to all die. You know, right. He can figure it out that fucking fast. You know. Right. So, like, it's shit like that like, you know, it makes for an interesting comic because it's like, okay, what's the point of too far? You know, and you always, like, you know, there are moments, like, there's a great moment in a comic book, No Man's Land. You know, Gotham there's an earthquake, and the United States is like, you know what? It's just going to be cheaper for us to just blow the bridges and assume that you are no longer a part of the United States.
Wow.
You know, and so like Gordon stays behind, like him and a few of his most trusted officers to like try to keep the peace. And at the end, Joker shoots his wife.
Oh wow. Kills her.
And you know, Batman's like almost like, I understand, but you know, and Gordon's like, no, buy the book. You bring him in, buy the book. We have to show that we're better.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think Gordon would have gone in there guns blazing. You know,
Yeah.
he would have put a bullet in his head. You know, but I mean, it's shit like that. Like, there's always like these moments of like the Joker has gone too far. Like, even like, I mean, that's the kind of the point of like not The Last Laugh.
Killing Joke?
The Killing Joke, yeah. Like, I mean, Joker's out to prove a point. Like, it just takes one bad day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to drive Gordon insane and prove it's not my fault. I just had one bad day. I don't know what it is because I'm insane. I don't remember. But the story changes in my head all the time. You know, but at the end of it, you know, Gordon's like, you know, you bring him in by the book. You know, I don't care if he shot Barbara and she's paralyzed and, you know, had me sitting naked in a roller coaster car looking at naked pictures of her. You know, you bring her in by the book. You know, fuck, Jim, you're a better man than me. You know, and there are those who speculate, including Grant Morrison, that the reason that's not really continuity is because at the end, Batman snaps his neck.
Yeah.
Like, you never show it, but there's like this speculation. That's what Batman did. He snapped his neck.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's like, wow, that's deep. You know, so like, there's always like throughout the comics, there's always like these moments of like the Joker just pushing shit so like over the limit, which is what he does, but yet Batman never kills him. Like it's always like back to Arkham with you. You know he's just gonna escape in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be back out in 3 weeks because that place has got no security whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like the worst job on the planet.
Yeah, like, I mean, come
Your
on.
chances of dying are like...
The Mad Hatter has escaped from Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
The Mad fucking Hatter. The worst villain ever.
Yeah.
You know, the guy who has to convince you to wear something on your head so he can take control of your mind. That guy
Yeah.
has escaped from Arkham Asylum. You know, so you tell me.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my. Did you watch She-Hulk this week?
No.
Okay.
Did not.
There's a fun tease at the end for next week's episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
DD.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense. I didn't even put those two together. We're talking about Daredevil.
Yes, we are.
Well, what I'm saying is like...
Because she's in L.A. and he's in New York.
Yeah,
I
but-
wouldn't have thought it either.
Well, I mean, but they're both, you know...
Lawyers.
Both lawyers. I mean,
Right.
it completely makes sense.
It does.
I didn't even piece that together. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see, like...
Good old Daredevil.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see how that plays out. Because I think, in all honesty, I was telling Nance this. Like, seeing him in the Spider-Man movie was fantastic. Like, it was like, oh, it's my guy. He's back. You know what I mean? But, like, all you see of him is just, like, that quick moment.
Yeah.
You know? And he's not even in the suit.
Yeah.
You know, he's Matt Murdock. He's not Daredevil. But he catches a brick, and you're like, oh, that's my boy. So, like, I'm intrigued to see, like, okay, how is he, for lack of a better term, Disneyfied?
Yeah.
You know, like, that Netflix series, that was hardcore.
Yeah, it was.
You know, they said fuck a lot. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued to see how they tone him down to be in the cinematic universe proper, as compared to like this side thing that was like very, very cool, but yeah, we don't use that kind of language. You know, we don't have sex like that. You know, all that shit was like, wow. I can't believe Marvel's attached to this. But but it is interesting to me, like how are they going to like change him so that he. Because I like Charlie Cox's. I mean, we discussed it. I like Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock and Daredevil. I like him a lot. I'm happy he's back in that role. I think he's a guy who, like, in all honesty, he's born to play that role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know he did such a good job in the Netflix show of, like, portraying all the sides of Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm intrigued to see, like, how do they kind of, like, tone him down to be able to work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because, I mean, they're doing an 18-episode show with him. Daredevil, Born Again. Can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, 18 fucking episodes. Holy shit. I cannot wait for this. I hope they're hour long each.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just that thing of, like, my concern is they tone him down to a point that it's not as good as,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that is the fear.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just have to. It's. I don't know. Like with Doom Patrol and shit like that, I loved what DC did with that stuff.
Right.
Like, it was, like, gritty, it's foul.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And Disney hasn't really done that. But they are making a new Deadpool, right?
Right. It's supposed, you know, at some point, yeah, they're.
And that's going to be, it's going to be R-rated. We all know this.
Yeah.
So, do you find a happy medium with Daredevil?
Yeah.
Or do you completely Disney-fy him, like She-Hulk? You know what I mean? I don't want to see Daredevil as like She-Hulk.
No, not even close. Like, I'm intrigued to see how the show treats the character.
Right, because this show needs to be dark. I mean, it's where it's at.
Even if you tone down the language and the violence to an extent, it still should be a dark show because he's a darker character. That he's a multifaceted character. I mean, you know, his Catholicism plays such a huge part in who he is.
Right.
You know, which is something I always found interesting about that character. Like, any other character in the Marvel universe, like, religion doesn't weigh that heavily on him. But Daredevil, Nightcrawler, yeah. But yeah, you're right. My bad.
That's right.
But, like, for him, it's like a very big part of who he is.
Yeah.
You know, he relies on his religion in a lot of ways, and that's part of it. And, like, you know, do you cut that out? Like, there's just so much to the character that, like, I just. Yeah, there's Matt Murdock, there's Daredevil, there's something in between. You know what I mean? Like, he's just this very interesting character that I just don't want to see dumbed down.
Yeah.
You know,
you keep them layers.
I like the layers. I like the complexity of the character. I like, you know, there's not much I don't like about the character, but, you know, it's just this thing of, like, I'm just hoping this version of Marvel keeps the complexity, but maybe tones down.
Yeah.
Some other aspects of it.
Yeah.
Because the character is what's really important to me. Like, hearing people say "fuck" is always fun. You know.
Yeah.
Like the language, like, the adult language makes it always feel a little bit more real. Because I always feel like that's how real people would talk. Like, I feel like, you know, Tony Stark would be like, you know, I got this motherfucker. You know, like, I mean, it would be shit like that. Like, you know, like Captain America would be the only one who would be like, can we please watch our language?
Right.
You know. Other than him, like, I feel like everybody else would be, like, dropping F-bombs and, you know, I got this shit, you know, stuff like that. You know, whereas, so, like, you clean that up, that's fine. I can deal with that, you know, because I enjoy the other stuff. But, like, the complexity of the character himself, like, even the violence, like, that show got kind of violent. You know, I mean, the first time you see Winston Fisk, he's fucking you know, he's smashing somebody's head in with a car door.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, that was nasty.
He's coming back too, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh God, I hope.
Yeah. So it's like that. I know he's supposed to be in another show. I know he's supposed. Is he supposed to be in the show with the deaf person? From the Hawkeye show, that girl. She's getting her own show.
What deaf person?
In the yeah, her.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's supposed to be getting her own show.
Okay.
And I think Fisk plays a role in that.
I don't know.
But I think he goes back to being the white suit wearing Fisk. They did the favor to the actor because he's like, I like this version of Fisk with the tropical shirts and the hat. Like, I always liked that, like in the comic books. So could I do that once? And they're like, yeah, we'll let you do it in Hawkeye. And now we got to put you back in the white suits.
Back in the suits.
Yeah, back in the suits you go because that's Winston Fisk. You know.
Remember his closet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's tremendous. So
God, that was good.
That was everything.
I love that breakfast scene too.
Yeah.
The whole breakfast scene was excellent.
Yeah.
It's just he's just one of those characters you just love to hate.
Like everything Vincent D'Onofrio did with that character was like phenomenal.
Yeah, it's always funny it's always cool when you find a villain that you say, yeah, I understand why he's doing this.
Yeah. And Marvel's very good at doing that.
I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand.
Like even, Christian Bale in Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Like at the end of it, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm sympathetic to what you were trying to do, but do you have to go about it this way? Yeah. There is stuff like that. Like, I mean, like we even talk about like Thanos was like, maybe he's right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna buy it, but I see your point. Those are the kind of villains that you're right. Like, you appreciate a little bit more.
Yeah. And
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Killmonger's the ultimate. Like, man, he is right.
Right, I know.
Fuck. You think you're cool. You're not so cool, Wakanda. You're keeping your shit to yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, like, but it's those characters where you're like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like the villains that are, here or there.
Yeah.
And you're like, whatever.
Right.
But I think it's why I like Spider-Man so much. The last Spider-Man so well. Is because you got to see that other side of those characters.
Yeah.
Which I think is the true genius of that film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you got to see Doc Ock cured.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And you got to see both sides of him. You got to see sort of a good side to Sandman. Well, there was always a good side to Sandman. Well, that version of Sandman.
Yeah.
There was always that good side.
Yeah.
You understood why he did what he did.
Right.
It made sense.
Right.
In Electro, I like that character too. But you saw that both sides in the other movie and in this movie.
But even like with
Defoe,
I mean, at the end, he's like, "Oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Who have I hurt?" Like,
Defoe was amazing.
He's
the reveal of Goblin was
yeah.
one of the best scenes ever. When I'm so glad they brought the Spidey sense in.
Yeah.
The tingle.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm so glad they brought it into that level.
Yeah.
Because he felt it. He knew something was off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you saw his entire face change.
Yeah.
Which is like
the brilliance of Defoe.
Acting God.
Yeah.
And when he comes out with the
yeah.
goblin voice and laugh.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so goddamn good at Goblin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It was awesome to watch. That was a true. I mean, I'm not saying he completely stole the movie at all, but he was a big part of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
when he was playing, when he got rid of the mask and he became,
Yeah.
What's his name? Last name?
Osborn.
In the homeless shelter or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I did appreciate the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
even changing it up, because the thing I always hated about that first Spider-Man movie was that helmet. It's not even a mask; it's a helmet. You know what I mean? And they in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they tried to give us a true Goblin with the nose and everything, and it didn't quite work.
Right.
But like the foe, like you didn't need the goblin face because the foe was so good. Like when he's on the glider, or like once he's kind of fully revealed and he's kind of got that the green and purple on. It's not really a suit, but like you looked at it and you said, "Oh shit, that's the Green Goblin."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the hood even. Like I was like, "Oh man, this is fantastic." That's the difference between Sony and Marvel. Like they figured out how to make the actual villain work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't look for a workaround, and when the workaround they did kind of come up with, it still looked like a traditional Green Goblin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is what you never got from Sony with that character.
No.
You know what I mean? And like the only home run they ever hit was Doc Ock. Like as far as look.
Yeah. Doc Ock looked good.
Yeah, I mean
I thought Sandman looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Wizard looked okay.
Nah. Okay, I'll give you Lizard.
But Sandman, I mean, there's not much to Sandman.
Right.
Sandman's like a really... I'm not saying he wasn't a main character, but he's a very sub-character.
Yeah.
He's not like a major villain like...
But like Marvel figured out like...
Man, once they do... My God. If they do Kraven right...
Yeah.
That's going to be really good.
But like Marvel even like figured out like... They made Shocker look half decent without going like, you know... Like... It felt real, but you had the ode to the character. I mean, Vulture looked fucking amazing.
Oh, man.
Mysterio, like, I never thought I would see Mysterio on a fucking silver screen. Ever.
Me neither.
I mean, he was just too goofy looking.
Right.
But, man, they made that work.
And he looked good, too.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, and Mysterio's one of those characters, like, I always kind of liked as, like, a B-level... C-level character for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But, like, back in the day, like, Mysterio showed up, you're like, oh, shit's on.
Right.
Like, when the Spider-Man cartoon got in, you saw Mysterio show up, you're like, oh, shit, here we go.
It's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, but now he's like this D-level character. But they did it so fucking well. Mm-hmm. They really made it work. Like, that goofy-looking costume just worked.
Yeah. Well, they have the knack of talent of doing that.
Right. But
I like the villains that they've come up with.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they toyed around with Rhino too. I don't like the suit that he was in.
Yeah.
It needs to be worked.
Yeah.
But it made sense. Do you know what I mean?
They need to learn. They need to, like, you know, when Deadpool pulled out the big guy.
Oh. What's his name's brother?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I'll think of it in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm Juggernaut, bitch. You know, but when the Deadpool people did Juggernaut, I mean, I think that's fucking Juggernaut.
Fuck yeah, it was Juggernaut.
You know, so
that was like, that's what I imagined Juggernaut to look like in real life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, there's no bones about it.
Yeah.
That was Juggernaut.
Yeah. And I would like to see, like...
The way he acted it. The way he looked.
Yeah.
The destruction.
Yeah.
That was Juggernaut.
Like, I'd love to see them, like, find a way to incorporate that into Rhino.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to find somebody that fucking big.
I just thought it was cool that Juggernaut was even in Deadpool.
Yeah.
And how they even got the rights to Juggernaut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, where did that was left field for me. I didn't see that one coming when I was watching Deadpool.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadpool's a goofy movie. I mean, and it's goofy, and Colossus was great. And that was kind of cool. I love Colossus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But
I love the Goody Two Shoes version of Colossus.
Correct. But when the Juggernaut showed up, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It's a really dark movie. I know it's so light. Like, the jokes and shit like that. But it's the main story,
especially 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is very depressing.
Yeah,
it's like almost sad.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, it's like, he wants to kill himself.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no matter what he does, he can't.
You're right.
And that's just when you're in that kind of place. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just love that. That scene where she dies was brutal.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely brutal.
Talk about bringing you to tears.
Yeah.
Oh, when he killed the dude?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he was going to kill himself, too.
Right.
And he was just like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're both going.
Yeah.
It was just so good. So fucking good. As dumb as it was.
Yeah.
It's not dumb. It's Deadpool.
Right.
But for as nutso as the movie was, it was just so good.
Right.
Man. It's interesting.
It is. It certainly is.
And it's interesting to see how they're going to play it. I don't know how they're going to introduce him into this fucking thing.
That's the mystery, like.
But She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall, too.
Right.
So,
But how do you bring in She-Hulk's one thing. And breaking the fourth wall, I'm fine with. She-Hulk doing it, she does it in her comic book as well.
Yeah, it's Lisa told me that, too.
But, as far as, Deadpool... I don't know how you bring him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper.
Yeah. Do you even let him speak?
Yeah. Do you just let it go so everything is just bleeped out?
Right.
Which would be the smart thing to do in my opinion. If you're gonna do it, you let him look here, mother, and and he's like, oh. It's Marvel, that's right. And he just as he goes along, you just keep getting bleeping noises.
There's a dolphin sound.
Yeah, yeah. That would be tremendous. But he has that moment where he looks at the camera and he goes, "Oh yeah, I can't swear in this movie. Too bad."
I want to see him in a Marvel movie with them swords out.
Yeah,
that'll be good. I get all the weapons, everything like that. I get it, but I still think Deadpool's. He just looks good when he's swording. You know what I mean? When he has those sword, when he has the, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That was like that pre-Deadpool that we saw in that wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But when he's going through that hallway,
yeah,
I was like, oh, there he is. There he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good. God, he was so good. He is good at Deadpool. I love him as Deadpool.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is just awesome. Again, you talk about a guy who's made for a role.
Yeah.
That's clearly him.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Yeah.
I just hope, and Disney's going to keep it over. There's no way you can change that formula. That's set.
Right, I think for a Deadpool movie, you let it all fly, but when you bring him into an Avengers movie, you have to let him be him, but you have to completely censor it.
Yeah, and then the fourth wall stuff should be
yeah,
him looking back,
yeah,
you know what I mean, smart ass shit,
yeah,
without saying much, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It should be it's like Sam Wilson correcting him, and he says something about another character he played in another movie. He makes an 8 Mile reference, or some shit, and you're just oh, that's tremendous. That's the shit that should be happening.
Yeah. You look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. One can hope.
One can only hope.
Oh, and a team. Him in a Spider-Man movie, I can't even imagine.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be the best. It would. That would absolutely be the best. I could just imagine.
I think that would be number one fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
come on.
And like you play it off that he still remembers who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm Deadpool. That's what I remember.
Yeah, right.
I haven't always been in this universe. Some shit like that. Like, you play it off. Like, you have to do it in a way that it's like, I just ended up here. I know who you are. I read your comic book. Like, what?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what would be even better too is if, and it doesn't even have to be for a long period of time, but if goddamn, if Hugh Jackman just can't show up for 5 minutes in one of his movies.
Yeah.
5 minutes. That's all you need.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that would be the best ever.
Or like, actually, even Hugh Jackman running the claws through him.
Yes.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what I think would be really funny is like he's in the Deadpool suit and like at a movie premiere, like Logan. Hugh Jackman's like,
Exactly. He keeps it interesting and he keeps it fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is as gross as it can be and as freaking foul mouthed as it can be, right?
Yeah.
He keeps it fun.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, I agree.
And when they released Deadpool in that PG-13,
yeah,
that was really smart.
Yeah.
And like, so Ellie watched it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he began that off with fucking Fred Savage.
Yeah.
And God, I mean, like, that is just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they were doing like the whole Princess Bride thing.
Yeah. How perfect is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just good shit. I wonder how involved he is in that shit.
From what I understand, he's very involved with Deadpool.
No, I mean like, yeah, I mean I know that, but with like producing as well, I guess. Does he produce it? Yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
He has to. Just really good. I need that kind of movie. I need that kind of comedy right now.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh yeah.
It's time for a Deadpool movie.
I agree.
To lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah. I would concur.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't know. Anything like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
I beat you in fantasy football last
You
week.
did.
I'm not going to win this week, but I beat you the first week.
Yeah, I got...
And I got a lot of points. I got a lot of points.
You did. I got hosed over by...
Prescott.
Well, Mike Williams, too. Like, Mike Williams had, 2 points.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver. I'm like, what the fuck? You're at the Chargers.
Yeah.
But, Dak Prescott has, almost put up a goose egg.
Yeah.
Through, 3.5 quarters. Like, it wasn't even like he, went out in, the first quarter or something. Like, he was in there in the fourth quarter and put up a fucking goose egg like that. I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah. I sat here on draft day, and I was I'm going to regret drafting Dak Prescott. And lo and behold, he is no longer on my team.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, I did want to mention Superfan Thad wrote in, as he does every single week. Mm-hmm. But he did have some stuff that did pertain to the podcast.
Yeah.
You called us Grinches. I better not see you knocking on my door asking if I found the Buddy Christ. Well, you're getting... You call us Jehovah's Witnesses because we don't like to celebrate Halloween and Christmas. But you're getting your religions confused because the Buddy Christ was Catholic. The Steelers' offense sucks. No two ways about it. I will say this, Thad. No, it doesn't. The offensive line does. And it'll be a problem all year. Just like it was last year. When everybody's like, oh, Roethlisberger's washed up. He can't throw the deep ball. He can't do this. He can't. It's the offensive line.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky's having the exact same problem. Kenny Pickett ain't going to fix it.
No, but offensive play calling can fix a little of it.
Well, I think what you have to do...
Because Mitch is not Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
And he's good on his feet.
Right. That's what you have to do is you have to start calling bootlegs. You have to start calling waggles. You have to get the pocket moving. You have to get him out in space.
Yeah.
And let him.
I mean, you got to. I mean, like, that's the thing. And that's the thing I keep bitching about is like, man, just let him fucking go.
Yeah.
You know?
Call more RPOs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Man.
There are ways to fix it. I agree.
And Ben Roethlisberger could not do that.
No, not at all.
And that's why it was so terrible.
Right.
You have two people that can.
Right.
And one that's starting right now that can if you would just fucking call the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Because, I mean, like, because it looked really bad, that game.
It did. I mean, especially when your defense gets 5 turnovers. You know,
I mean, the defense was
the defense played lights out, and you win based off of basically a bad long snapper.
Yeah.
That's essentially how you won the game. Like I said, the second I watched that snap for that extra point, I'm like, "Oh, that was slow."
Yeah.
And that's from, I mean, I'm no expert, but like I've been watching enough like Pat McAfee stuff now, and he talks about special teams a lot, and like the amount of time it like from snap to kick is like supposed to be like 1.5 seconds or something, and like watching that ball go back, I'm like, "Oh, that was slow." That like for like a brief second, I thought this could be blocked.
Yeah.
And it was, because the speed that the kicker, the snapper, understanding that first snap was slow, tried to send it back faster the second time, and that's why it went high.
Yeah, yeah.
And it, they couldn't get the laces turned, and that's why having a long snapper who's not very good.
Yeah.
Because your actual long snapper's injured.
Yeah.
Was but it's like something you don't like count on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't count on losing your long snapper. It's like in that Chiefs game, the Chiefs kicker hurt his foot, his plant foot.
Yeah.
Like he rolled his foot on a kickoff.
Yeah.
Like they had a safety kicking the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It's shit like nobody carries a backup kicker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's shit you don't count on.
Right.
So
talk about lights out play by Minka that whole game.
A whole game. I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off when Pro Football Focus released their top 5 defensive players of the week, and Minka Fitzpatrick was not on that list.
You got to be out of your mind. He
Let
played off the hook.
alone, he should have been at the top of the list, but he wasn't not rated at all in their top 5. I'm like, that's good. It just shows how little you actually know about football then.
Yeah.
Because like you look at that game and you have like last year, Minka Fitzpatrick's impact was he was making tackles.
Yeah.
He was a tackling machine last year. 125 tackles or something like that last year.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous for a safety. They should not be making anywhere near that many tackles.
Yeah.
But he was stepping up and assisting in the run game.
Right.
He's one of the best all-around safeties I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like he's I don't want to say he's as good as Polamalu, because Polamalu did things that were incredibly special.
Yeah.
But he's damn close.
Yeah, he's pretty
good. As far as like watching safety play, he is amazing.
Yeah.
And like the game he had, the impact he had on that on the offense, the things that he was forcing them to do. Like again, like it just like it made me laugh. Like how could he was the defensive player of the week in the NFL, but Pro Football Focus doesn't have him in the top 5.
Yeah.
Child, please. Child, please.
Yeah.
So, that also says, Sean, you are so wrong. I do not spend a weekend decorating my house. I have spent every weekend since January developing a plan and design for Halloween and Christmas. I do this because it makes me happy. It makes me smile. It makes everyone else smile.
Well, good.
Again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're insane, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I'm the one who's probably wrong, but I just don't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, good for you if it makes you happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
To me, it just sounds like extra work.
Right.
That's all. And that's basically all that needs to be read. But Thad did rebut because we did cite him last week when we discussed decorations and stuff like that. So, to quote the great Sheryl Crow, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
There you go.
So, anything else like that, the proceedings there, sir?
I'm good, brother.
Well, remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send an email like Thad does each and every week, which we usually don't read because it's just nonsense. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week. I know I can't thank you enough for supporting our hijinks and or shenanigans, and I believe Ian echoes those sentiments. Mm-hmm. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.